Hello, my friends. This is Jalal. I am Jalal, and I wanted to make a video outside. I haven't put anything on this channel in quite a while, and I have two YouTube channels. One's for my business, my main business. The other one is for this InBody YourSelf coaching, and I'm starting to feel a need to put more attention to this. There may be some vehicles coming in. I'm at my workspace, which doubles as multiple uses. There's a marina nearby. You can probably hear crickets. I hope you can hear crickets in the background. They're like the foreground, really. The beauty of summer. So what I've been working with in my own life is this question of partnering, and I think it's probably like fundamental to most of our natures, at least as a question or an opportunity. And partnering in the human domain, and there may be several videos. I'm sure that I'll make several videos about this. But what feels really real to me is how absolutely important our sexual energy is, our sexual potential energy. I'm a physicist, and actually I just thought of gravitational potential energy. So here's SPE, sexual potential energy, or XPE, but either way, it's the most amazing force, really, because sexuality can overcome gravity. It overcomes the resistance of thermodynamics, and it's the root and strongest force in all creation. When you really think about it, I mean, here I am, a being, you as a being, watching this, watching me. I am in space. There's a body here in space. And if there was no body, you could see my reflection in the mirror maybe, but in the window. But there's no body, there's no interaction, there's no engagement, there's no dynamic in that interpersonal way. We can still have a full dynamic within ourselves. There's a complete range of experiences and emotions that we have as human beings. Spirit in human form, spirit taking human form, as many people say. And to give that analogy, some people taking a walk along the water. But without the being of this body, there's no engagement in this way with you. Same thing with you watching, with you having your own life engagement. Somebody had to create you. Somebody had to raise you and nurture you. And it's really easy, I know it myself, to take for granted how incredible this potential is of simply being here, to have been created, that there could be billions and trillions of potential souls. Every single person on the planet, most say, have the ability to create life. Many do, many don't. And to have this sacred potential, given the respect that it really deserves, to honor and respect it, to just acknowledge it, is so vital. I mean, to our real long-term happiness, men and women. And because at least as up till now, I think in general it takes two human beings of opposite sex to create life. There can be in vitro fertilization, but I don't think life can be actually created by just cloning cells in a laboratory. But even then, there's still a creator if that ends up happening. Who knows if those beings would have souls? I don't know. It's a very interesting question. So I'm at 39 years old. I'll be 40 in about 3 months. The questions of parenting, of becoming a parent, which I am not yet, are becoming paramount. They're becoming important for me to consider, and that my life choices are moving me in a direction that allows that to happen, that gives the best possible conditions for it. And so I'm actually considering spending a lot of time overseas, in Eastern Europe. And I've already spent some time there. I have family in Poland, and I'll probably be going back this fall. I'm really looking forward to it. Family and also friends that I've made in some cities I visited, and just following my soul's guidance. Because I've been meditating and contemplating this for a long time, and it's not necessarily an easy road to take, where you're very selective of how and with whom you express your sexual energies. But it really is the most important use of our life. It's the biggest question that we have, whether or not we're aware of it. But I really think there's nothing more important, because that is the genesis of life. It's the ability to create a being in space that is a miracle. Nature doesn't just pop things into existence, subatomic particles say, but to pop an entire human being into existence by just, boop, there it is, it just doesn't seem to happen, at least not my experience. Not most of our experiences. So it's magic. This is really magic. And there's times that I do, masturbate, and I'm not thinking as consciously, but I usually, some part of me will come back to say, is this for an intention of creating something, like creating an expression, or expressing my love, my joy, my passion. But when it comes to partnering with someone, that if you know what it is that you want, and if you don't know, then I encourage you to find out what it is. That's also something that I love to do with my coaching practice, to ask those really fundamental questions of, what is it that I really want, at least as best as I know right now, and how can I put myself into a place to be available to that. So I've had to make some choices, many choices, in the last several years, last 6, 7, 8, 9 years or so, when I become more aware of this amazing potential energy, as I talk about in some of my other videos, how that became really an awareness point for me. That even if I enjoy the release that a fun person or an interesting dynamic might create, something deep down keeps saying, is this really what I want? Is this really moving me in the direction of what I want? So yeah, the start of really clarifying and understanding the magic of our sexual potential, and the responsibility. I have taken the idea of creating life very, very seriously, because I can see how much a responsibility it is, and what a joy it can be too. My sister has a 1-year-old boy now, and he's amazing, but he's so much work. I know he's been so much work, and he's great to spend time with. And honestly, right now, I'm glad that I can enjoy the time with him and then leave. So I'm preparing myself, and I also imagine a woman that I would be with, she would need to be preparing herself physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, as best as we can. Sometimes we can't always. I'm a perfectionist, I realize that. But to at least have an intention that this is a sacred responsibility. And I believe that the joy comes when we realize the beautiful seriousness of this act of sex, and making life. Even if you don't make life, the potential, at least with heterosexual sex, is there. And to me, that is the most pure, the most truly intimate form of expression, because it has that capacity to create new life. That is the gift. That is the amazing potential that a man and a woman together can create. And And I really think it's important to see in your environment, in your viewing habits, and the conversations you have with people, do people really respect that potential? Do they give it lip service? Do they act in a way that's not really respectful of it? Because it's going to affect your views and your attitudes, and it's going to create a certain sphere around you. And I really do want to be around people who love the responsibility that they have, so that we can get the highest joy from it. So I've said no. I have been, and I continue to say no to potential offers. And it's really tempting sometimes, and sometimes I have given in. And then there's a clarity that keeps coming back. It says, is this what I really want? Is this what you really want? So I hope that you give yourself the gift of asking yourself and listening. That still small voice, that little nudging, that knowing, to me, that's what intuition feels like and sounds like. Sometimes it's very loud, and sometimes it's very subtle. It's also like, how does your body move? Like, if you feel that, you really feel it, maybe you need that experience. But if it's I don't really know, then don't talk yourself into it. You'll probably regret it, and you'll find out if you do. So, to be expanded upon. And please, if you do feel a desire to leave a comment, I know I don't have very many subscribers right now, but if you have a desire to engage, comment, even do a video together where we could have a conversation, I would really welcome that. I want to create a collaboration where we can really go into subjects as deeply as we wish, and also to share poetry, to share things that are music, whatever it is that inspires you. So, thank you. Take care, my friends.